Yes, already.
Okay.
Oh, thank you for calling, caller. State your name and where you're calling from. Hi.
Hey, this is Greg Van Rees from the Let's Be Real show.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I got two quick questions.
Yes.
One for Ms. Fales.
Yes.
How do you get focused to write a journal? I've always heard like the great people always write journals, but I have too many thoughts. It's hard for me to focus. One, you know what I mean?
Something that I literally just had that question like a week or two ago, actually. And my recommendation was to like just start writing stuff down. So if you have like a Google Doc or you have Dropbox or something, or you have your notes app in your phone, just start writing down the ideas as you get them. And don't make it I have to sit down for 2 hours and just write this whole thing out and just structure the whole thing. Like as you get your ideas, just start writing them out. Just start jotting them down. And then occasionally just go back and review what you've already done. And before you know it, I promise you will have the information that you need when you don't treat it as if it's a chore or a burden. Just if you work a 9 to 5, just jot down stuff on your lunch break and then come back to it tomorrow. But just taking your time and just writing out your thoughts and then coming back to them later. Because like I said, I was writing this whole thing. I had no intentions of this being a super structured thing. But when I went back and actually read all the stuff I wrote down, I realized I had a journal already. And
a whole journal.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
I think my problem is because I am a writer, every time I write something down, it turns into a book or story. It's hard to keep it, personal. But and for Ms. Bumpers,
hi.
Our producer told me I should call and ask you about my zodiac sign.
Oh, really?
Or like that.
Yeah, that's exciting. So, okay, I can only say so much because without knowing all aspects of it, we'll have to talk offline. But what is your birthday?
September 18th, 1963.
Oh, Virgo, poor baby.
Wow. Wait a minute.
Okay, so well, here's the cool part about at least knowing why. Now, Mercury rules Virgo, which is the planet of communication, which is the planet of the writer. Right. So the beautiful part about it is that you're operating in the truth of who you are and your essence. So that is an excellent thing. But Virgo, poor baby. Virgo is tough. You know what I tell people? Virgo is, a lot of people try to give Jesus Christ the personification of Virgo, because the journey is very inward. Wow. It's very powerful. Absolutely. I know. That's what I said. Poor baby on the cross. So what you do is a lot of times you make yourself the sacrificial lamb. A lot of times you put a lot of energy and focus into things you do. You always are trying to reach your level of excellence, and it's not even close to other people. Your level of excellence is like a level 300 and the average person works at 175. Do you understand? So you actually end up stressing yourself out with these unrealistic expectations of why people are not understanding you or not operating on your level or not working as hard as you, because you are elite and you don't really see that. And so it's kind of difficult when you're in the area or the mindset of Virgo, because Virgo is a person who believes that they are down to earth, which they are, very down to earth individuals, but your ability to produce things and how you analyze things are far beyond earthly realms. Do you understand?
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I actually was told by an ex that I'm either really humble or really conceited.
That there is no in between. There isn't. And that's kind of confusing. Where it's like, wait, one day he's like, "Hey, babe, we good. We can make some peanut butter and jelly," and then the next day it's like, "Hey, man, we can't be." We can't just be out here eating off of Walmart plates. You need to get some expensive crystals. You be like, wait a minute. We was eating peanut butter jelly yesterday. Like, what's going on? But and it's difficult because all of that is you. All of it is true to who you are. And for a Virgo in partnership is difficult. You want somebody that understands you're crazy. Let's be clear. As detail oriented as you are, as perfectionist oriented as you are, as product focused as you are, you don't want somebody who can't help you produce things, or a woman that appears lazy in certain areas of her life. And I'm not saying in all, but if she looks like she does not have ambition and your whole focus is about what we do, how we produce, and how we create things, and making sure that it's done on time, in the right way, correctly, proficiently. And she kind of just, lackadaisically makes her way through life. That is very uncomfortable for Virgo.
Yeah, because I hate people being late.
Yes, yes.
I'm always early.
Always early. Yes, and you are, and Virgos are stickler for their time.
About a half an hour before my show.
Oh man, I made it here right on time too. But see, that is the difference between knowing yourself, and also Virgo fails to, even though they are good with the writing and they're ruled by communication, they fail to communicate effectively as to what their expectations are. So they have these crazy high expectations, but they never actually communicated to the other person, because they assume, because I have these expectations, you must know they exist and know what they are.
Right.
And that's usually where the breakdown in communication and relationships happen.
All right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it really does. I'm glad I called.
Absolutely. I'm glad you called too, for all those Virgos out there.
Baby part, now I'm worried.
No, because we cleaned up the poor baby now. Now you can live as a living legend. Virgos are amazing when they know who they are and how they operate. But in most cases, we don't. Okay, we just don't. We don't know that. And then you're that person who's like, dang, why can't this relationship thing? Like, I really like this person, but they always saying that I'm always hard on them, because Virgos have this issue of what else? Nothing is done. It's always what else? What else can I do? But what else? It's like, hey guys, I went to Disney World. Oh, that's great. What else did you do? I said I went to Disney World. That was it. Okay, but for Virgo, it's like, okay, well that's nice. And even for a companion, you're always focused on the next level of excellence.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're like, hey, that was a great accomplishment. Now where do you go? You're like, dang, can I just sit here in this right here and be good right here? So the reason why I say poor baby is just only because most Virgo people do not get to see how beautiful and amazing they are, because they are so excellent in their endeavors. And they don't realize that they're actually ahead of the rest, and it's hard to see, and it's hard to relate to others when you're naturally ahead of the rest.
Wow.
So I hope that helps. Yes. That's good. I'm so glad that our smart producer asked you to call in and, get some insight on your life, because she's a Virgo moon. So that's why I'm able to work with her so well, too. She gets things done. Do you understand? And that might be why you could relate to her as well. Like, she's like, yeah, you need to talk to her.
Yeah, she sure did.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you so much.
Oh, good.
I'm really enjoying the show.
Yeah, good.
And I'll be tuning in every Sunday.
Oh, go ahead. I like to hear that. Thank you so much. All right, Greg, we appreciate you. I got to make sure I check out the show as well, and we'll be talking to you.
All righty.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Good night, lady.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
So see how that confidence thing works?
Yeah, it definitely comes. And that's why when people were saying, how do I get to be, what did you do to be so confident? I'm like, confidence kind of comes naturally to me. I didn't have to really try so hard.
It does.
It's more so the consistency, which is why when Shadae asked me, what did I want to talk about today?
Yes.
So I want to talk about confidence and consistency, because I don't believe that you can really discuss the two things separately and expect the results that you want. So that's why today I'll be sharing my 3 tips about how to stay confident and consistent.
Okay, where are those 3 tips?
Yeah, okay, so first what I wanted to cover is I wanted to tell you why you are having such a hard time being consistent.
Jesus wept.
So let's go over that real quick. All right? All right. So if you are having a really hard time being consistent, there are 3 things that are probably going on with you that you're really not realizing play into the situation. And the first thing is you don't actually know what you want. And what did you just say to him? When we know what we want, when we know who we are, we can operate at a standard of excellence. But when we don't know what we want and we don't know who we are scatterbrained. We're all over the place. We're trying to jump from one thing to another. Nothing is ever satisfying. Nothing is ever as complete as we want it to be. And it's because we don't know what we want, which is why we have a really hard time being consistent.
Absolutely.
And so what I mean by is that you don't know what you want is that you're doing things based off of other people's expectations as opposed to what you truly really truly want. And a part of the problem for that is maybe you haven't even given yourself permission to think about what is it that I want.
Oh my God, that is
right. Especially for those of us who
That's
are,
really good.
we're in our, those of us, well, I'm not even there no more, in our 20s are, you know, coming out of college or coming out of high school, and now they're coming into adulthood. And just like, for example, me, I went to college with a 5-year major. Then I jumped out that 5-year major. I found a job right off the bat. After I got the job, I got engaged. After I got married, I went to grad school. After I got into grad school, I had a kid. After I had the kid, I bought a house. After I bought the house, I had another kid.
Woo!
It was like I literally just kept running off to next accomplishment because I was letting other people's expectations drive my life. But here's the thing. Them other people didn't even tell me those were their expectations, right? But when we see people who are in our space, so our immediate family or our best friends or people we've gone to college with, we start to think, well, these people expect this of me, or if I never achieve this, what are those people going to think of me?
Yeah.
And we let that drive our decisions.
Absolutely.
And that's why we jump from one thing to another, right?
Yeah.
We're so hard pressed on, I have to stay on track, right, with this timeline.
Right.
And people always tell me, Brittany, you have everything, you did it all. And I'm like, yeah. And like,
and it's not always fulfilling because you follow somebody else's
just because you go to college, just because you get married, just because you have kids and you bought the house. It's like there's always going to be what now.
Yes, absolutely.
There's always going to be what now. And and that was what mine was, right?
Right.
I got to that point where I'm like, I did everything that the handbook said I was supposed to do, but I'm miserable.
Right.
I cry every day.
And you're not alone. Like, a lot of people come to that realization.
Yes,
absolutely.
And so when you're having a really hard time being consistent or sticking with that one goal and not just constantly jumping after short-term goals, it's because you're not really giving yourself permission to figure out what it is that you want. What it is that you want to achieve, how you want to live your life, how you want to feel when you wake up in the morning. You have the right to decide that. It's not just I have to go to my job and I just have to suck it up and go. Like, how do you want to feel when you wake up? It's totally up to you. Like, you are in total control of that. We won't go off on a tangent because that's a whole show right there.
That is a whole show right there.
That is the first reason why you are having a hard time staying consistent, is because you're basing your decisions off of what you think other people expect of you, whether it's people who you know, it could be people who admire you from afar, people who have told you what the standard is that you're supposed to live, right? And so we come out into our 30s and our 40s and our 50s, especially when your kids start to leave the house, and now you're like,
what am I doing?
What do I like to do?
Exactly.
How do I want to spend my time? What was my dream that I went to an event a couple weeks ago, and this woman was like, yeah, my kids left the house and I totally forgot that I had a dream to do this X, Y, and Z. And it's like, you're allowed to do those things before you get to the end of the something like that, and because I've been there, I've been in that challenging position. Start making a list of just small things you like to do. Like it doesn't. Oh, she is. Girl, lists are our thing. Okay, so get you an app of whatever. Get you a Google Doc or whatever. Just start writing out. What is it? It doesn't have to be grand. Of my next career needs to be this, or I want this in my next hobbies. Just write down like every day. What aspects of your day do you enjoy? What kind of conversations do you like being a part of? What type of people are you drawn to and why? And I promise you, when you make it that simple, you will start to you'll figure it out. You'll see some commonalities or some patterns, so that you can figure out what is it that I truly care about, what is motivating to me, what inspires me every day, and how can I start integrating more of that into my day-to-day life.
Absolutely. And like she said, you're good with the list, okay? So I'm
over here trying to mentally remember all of that.
Well, look, that's okay. You know, you can come back and watch the replay on YouTube. So it ain't, not on YouTube, but on Facebook. You can always come back and watch it. But remember, something that she said and something that you're going to have to remember to do is focus on what it is that makes you happy. And sometimes we don't focus on that a lot. So it might be actually taking the time to journal and say, you know what, I laughed a little bit harder about this today, or this made me smile today, or I felt really good when this happened, and keep writing about those things, keep focusing on those things. And actually each day we talked briefly about waking up in the morning and being intentional about what it is that you're going to experience through the day. But you can actually say, I want a little bit more love today. And it could be something as simple and I'm not trying to be funny, like, I think I want like 4 more hugs than usual today. Like anything that makes you feel good, focus on those things. And what happens is it trains your mind to create more experiences that make you feel good. And so you will become more consciously aware of what makes you feel good. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's
a conditioning, and we've never been conditioned to treat ourselves a certain type of way to feel good, but it's a conditioning.
Yeah, and that's what the journal, what the Level Up 60-Day Manifestation Journal is all about, is asking you questions that you've never given yourself permission to answer before. Yes. So like one of the first questions in the book, in the journal that I have is, what do I know for sure? So instead of focusing on what don't I like, what do I hate, what do you know for sure? What do you know about yourself that you like? Yeah. What is something that you would like to see positively changed? What do you want to experience? What dynamics of your relationships do you enjoy and do you like? What do you know for sure? So instead of just focusing on what don't I like, what pisses me off, what gets on my nerves, think about, what do I know for sure about my life that I like and that I enjoy? It does not have to be on this grand scale. It can literally just be bullet lists down to a few simple things. And I promise you'll find answers in that.
But it is a practice, so don't think it's going to happen overnight.
Not at all.
It does take time. The same way you've conditioned yourself to be the superhero that you are at home, work, and everywhere else, it didn't take time to condition yourself mentally and emotionally to understand what it is that you like, love, and want to experience.
Absolutely.
So it takes time.
Oh, yeah, definitely. All right. Well, that's something to look forward to for this week. Thank you.
Awesome. And now that we've talked to Tiana, we're going to take a break. And for anybody else who'd like to call in, make sure you call in at 440-252-0518. You're listening to The Queen's Journey, and we'll be back.
Hi, this is Clotia Mack from Cleveland, and I love listening to Elevations Radio.
Chance for you, in my bones for you, of the my bones fire. I feel you so fire. Cause when I'm with you, baby, ooh, baby, I feel like I can touch the moon. I feel like there's nothing I can do. You will get the best of me. You will get the best. All they got is history. Give it all, baby. Give it to me. Give it to me. I can take it all, baby. Give it to me. Give it to me. If I give it all, baby. Give it to me. Give it to me. Take it all, baby. Give it to me. Give it to me. I don't wanna go another day. Said I don't wanna go another day. Said I don't wanna go another day without you. I don't wanna go. I don't wanna go. Give it all, baby. Give it to me. Give it to me. Take it all, baby. Give it to me. Give it to me. If I give it all, baby. Give it to me. Give it to me. Could you take it all, baby? Give it to me. Give it to me.
You're listening to the Queen's Journey. Welcome back. We're back from break. If you guys missed the first half, we're talking about confidence and consistency, having a good time over here with the branding bestie. All right. So we're going to make sure we get into this because you guys know we only got 20 minutes. We be on this show flying past some things, you know what I'm saying? We don't have enough time to talk about all the stuff we want to talk about. So you got to make sure you tune in every Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on elevationsradio.com or here on Facebook at the Elevations Radio page. You know, you got to make sure you check us out, you know, because I'm not consistent enough to actually put it on my page every other day. Lord. So, you know, weekly, this has been good.
Yeah, I'm proud of you. We're going to get through these tips, though. We ain't going to leave until these tips are done. We're going to run through it. We're going to run through it.
Okay, so let's get these tips together about being confident.
And consistent. So I'm sharing the reasons why you ain't being confident and consistent. We ain't going to go back. Go back to the first 30 minutes of the show.
Right, you got to have to check that out later.
But right now, we're running through these tips of helping you to remain consistent so that you can be more confident. And the first one that I said was you need to get concrete on what you desire and embrace the fact that your idea or your goals may be out of the box. It may not align with what your mom wanted for you. It may not align for what your friends are doing. None of my friends were entrepreneurs heavy. Right. And even the people who are in my close circle, a lot of them still aren't in the same season of entrepreneurship that I am. But when I quit my day job to go full force into this entrepreneurship thing, some of them were like, oh my God, what are you doing?
Right.
Like one of them, I text my closest group of friends. I text them the day before I quit. I was like, I just want to let you know tomorrow's my last day in corporate America. I've decided to quit my job and go full time on my business. And one of them literally got on the phone and called me like, are you sure about this? Is this something that you really want to do, man? Are you really going to take this?
I'm not sure, but I'm about to do this.
I know, but I knew they cared about me. But literally, I knew I was the only person who, at that point, was willing to take that kind of risk.
Absolutely.
And it was scary. So being okay with the fact that your friends, it may not be the most popular idea. Or maybe it's just not popular among your friends. Get some new additional friends.
Absolutely.
Who understand what you want to do or what you want to experience. Yeah, because there are people who are going to think that your crazy goal is going to be, they're going to be like, that's amazing.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So the second tip is you need to embrace your zone of genius. So before I was talking about how the fact that you're not being consistent is because you're not staying in your lane. You're trying to do, we gonna work on you.
I don't have a lane.
Staying in your lane. No, you have a lane.
I do have a lane.
But the problem is for some people is that we're good at so many different things. That we think, well, I have to tend to 5 things with a mediocre approach instead of let me tend to the one that's going to make the biggest impact right now, master that, and then once I've mastered that and I can get that thing like a well-oiled machine,
then we can try other lanes.
Then we add more lanes to our highway, right?
Yes.
But if you're supposed to be going south and you are so concerned, but there's these other things I'm good at will take me north, and they cool too, and I'm good at those too. You can't go in two directions at one time.
Absolutely.
You have to figure out what is it that you are good at. Stay in that zone of genius. Find out ways to incorporate it. So whether it's in your career and you're feeling like I'm having a really hard time advancing in my career choice, what are your zones of genius and how can you show up to those at work every day? How can you integrate those into the way that you work so that you can get what you want? Or in your relationships, figuring out what is the way that I'm best at communicating and how can I bring that to the table in my in my relationships, anything like that. And the reason, my favorite saying is I tell my clients, stop pivoting yourself into a ditch.
That's funny.
So you're trying to change. So what happens when we swerve in the highway? We end up in the off bank.
Yep.
Can't even get out in reverse now because we were pivoting. We were yanking our wheel around. We were focused on our text messages when we should have been paying attention to the road. We swerved to keep from hitting somebody because we weren't paying attention to our own lane. And you pivot yourself right into a ditch. You're making a million decisions that instead of taking you forward, they're just taking you off the road completely.
Absolutely. And I think for somebody who definitely lacks consistency, I'm consistent in being me, just not in doing anything else.
Oh my God.
It's like, so for me, my lane is astrology. That's my lane. That is my lane. Nobody does that like I do it in the way that I do it, in the way that I express it, or the way that I can teach people how to do it. But I do have other skill sets. Now, while I try to incorporate other skill sets into a broad scope, really astrology is my lane. That's my passion. That's what's more, because when you know what it is, you have the ability to intensify what it does. You can maximize that thing in such a way that it can produce greater results than if you tried to do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and a little bit of that, because then you never get the maximum potential of your real gifts and your talents because you're not staying focused on that lane.
No, you're not. And I've definitely been in that area, right? I get it. I totally understand. But if you truly want to see some changes in your life and you really want to be able to show up for your business or show up for your career or show up for yourself or your relationship, your whatever area it is in your life when you feel like you're not being consistent in your parenting, this can apply to absolutely everything. Figure out what your zone of genius is. For example, with me and my husband, I know my zone of genius is the person who is being organized. Yes. I know I'm the person who keeps things in line, is forward thinking about what we need for as far as groceries, as far as bills. That's where my zone of genius is. You know what my husband's zone of genius is? Making money. Yep. Right? Yeah. He will do it. And not saying that I won't, but his zone of genius is he will figure out, we need this. All right, I'm about to go make this money. He will bring it home so that I can then take said money and take care of our family and take care of our needs. Because
in the structured manner in which you know your lane.
I know my lane. And so that's where we thrive in that. And I'm just saying this can apply to absolutely anything. And so you need to figure out what your lane is. What is your zone of genius? What is it that you do in your sleep that the other people in your household can't do to save their lives, right? What is it that you can do on your job that your coworkers, even though y'all have the same exact position, but you know you do better than them, right? Everybody has a zone of genius somewhere. And you're the only person who can decide what that is. Exactly. No one can decide that for you.
And so it's funny too. So I'm always going to stress, because now I'm going to make more of an effort to be confident and consistent in how I express certain things when it comes to my lane. Okay. So, her husband is a Gemini, which means that he has a progressed moon. I know that a progressed sun, that will fall into Taurus. After 30 years of his life, he'll have a Taurus energy type of thing going on. Taurus is about creating income. Taurus is about creating investments and money and legacy for your lifestyle. Taurus is what you do to produce income and resources into your life. He's literally living in that thing.
I love it. Amen. Thank you, Jesus.
You know what I'm saying?
That ain't me.
Okay. And it's so funny because like you're probably just the opposite. If you're in your progressed sun, that's Scorpio, which is letting go of everything and being spiritual. And
that's exactly where I am right now. And he's so patient with me. Thank you, baby. I love you. Because I just be like, I was talking to Shadae, and we were talking about how my rising sun means that I'm going to be in this phase of my life. And he'd just be like, yep, so what you need me to do? Like, he don't even argue at this point. He's like, what does Shadae say now? But he knows. But he respects it. And I've never let those ideologies just drive us off the road. I'm just like, I'm going to figure this out. I got, like, when I told him I was quitting graphic design, he was like,
hey, I didn't do that.
No, that wasn't Shadae. That was not a Shadae. But he was like, you know what? I trust you to figure it out.
Yes,
and it has. I'm not gonna lie, it's been a rough transition just trying, because it's like starting over. Yeah. But I've been finding ways to make money. I produced this journal, and he was so proud of me when I produced. He was like, "Oh my God, you made this! Like, this is yours! I can't believe you did that!" And every week he'll be like, "How many journals did you sell this week? What's your goal for next week?" I'm gonna be telling people. I'll post about it.
That is awesome.
And
it's nice to have a partner that is a champion for you.
Look,
you know
here
what I'm
now.
saying?
This was all Jesus. Because,
yes, indeed.
That's all I'm saying. Yes. So yes, that's my second. My second tip is to embrace your zone of genius, because everybody has one. Don't doubt it.
Out. Yes.
No. And then my third tip that I want to give is you need to start practicing some self-acceptance. And I've been preaching this all
I'm gonna need you to elaborate on
my
that. What
Instagram.
Self-acceptance.
Yes, practicing self-acceptance. Self-acceptance is knowing what you're good at and knowing what you're not good at, and being okay with the fact that you ain't good at some stuff.
Right.
And then when you know that what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are, don't just sit in that. Speak positively about yourself and over yourself.
Yes.
Right? Like we were talking to Tiana earlier.
Yes.
Focus on what you like and what you want.
Yes.
Talk about yourself in a positive manner. Speak over yourself with positivity and what you want to see for your life, as opposed to I'm terrible. I thought I was good at money until I stopped being good with money. And I was like, dang, I ain't really as good as money as I thought I was. But that was a conversation. I'm saying that because that was a conversation we had to have. I was like, I'm really good at money. And she was like, but are you really? I was like, now that you mention it, I'm not. I've just always lived with a safety net of money. Yes. And now that safety net ain't there, now I realize I'm not really as good as I thought I was, right? I was so figure out
coming to those conclusions.
Yes,
those honesty moments with yourself.
What are you good at? So what do you thrive? And I'm not saying that I spend money terribly. Don't tell my husband that, because he'll be like, what? No, I know how to budget. I know how to be responsible with money. But what I was saying is, when that safety net of, I always was like, I can't have less than $200 in my bank account. I don't roll like that. My husband used to look at me like, what? $200 is gravy. Where are you trying to go this weekend? You know what I'm saying? But when that wasn't the situation anymore, then it was like, crap, I don't even know how to think. I don't know how to move. So what is it?
It kind of dissembled you from your natural safety.
Something that I had created, and now that it's like, now that safety net has been challenged, so there's all kinds of safety nets in your life, right? You thought you were good at communication. I thought I was great.
You thought you were good at relationships.
I thought I was great at communication until I met my husband. He was like, "You mean?" And I was like, "What you mean? I mean?" I was like, the way that I deliver my message is not always said with kindness.
No, it's not.
I could work on my communication.
Yes,
so it's like, there's so many aspects of our life where we need to know what we are good at. We need to really identify and give over to yourself. Where do I excel, and where am I not that great? And how can I speak positively over myself so I can find the right resources to do better, so I can connect with the right people to do better. So if you're bad at money and all you're saying to yourself is, I'm bad at money, bad at money, bad at money, you're going to stay bad at money, bro. Like, nothing is going to change if you can't speak positively over yourself and your situation. But if you could say, I'm going to get better at money, I'm going to learn how to manage, I'm going to learn how to invest, doors will open for you. Whether you're saying that as a form of prayer, whether you're saying that in your mind as a form of meditation, when you start speaking positively,
absolutely,
that's when you get what you want. Because even with prayer, like, you don't go to God saying, I'm the worst ever.
Right.
I'm the worst mother ever, and I'm always going to be the worst mother. You know what God going to say? All right, then.
All right. Yes.
He don't, because
God always say yes.
He look at it like, don't save her. She don't want to be saved, bro.
Right. That's what she said.
If
so be it.
If you're telling me that you're terrible, if you're telling me that you're horrible, I can't do nothing with that.
Yeah.
Guys, like, there's nothing. I can't do nothing. You brought me a pile of crap.
Yeah.
Literally, bring me something that I can press or mold or use or say, I want to be better at motherhood. I want to be more present with my children.
Yeah.
I want to be more attentive to their needs mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally.
Yeah.
I want to be more engaged. You have to approach it from that way. You have to speak more positively about what you want. So if you want to be a better mother, you want to be better in relationships. So that I had to be like, Lord, I'm terrible at relationships. I picked the worst men in the world.
Yeah.
Right? I have daddy issues that's stopping me from getting Mr. Right. Fix me, please.
Yes.
Until you are willing to have raw conversations about that and speak positively about what you would like to see happen in your life,
Absolutely.
you are going to continue to be inconsistent. You're going to continue to have a lack of confidence. Confidence is one of those things where you gotta fake it till you make it.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you basically have to, and that's an energetic thing that comes into manifestation as well. That is one of the things where it's funny because
Tiana says sermon number 2 for me today.
That's good. That's good. That's good that we got this good word going for you, because confidence is one of the things where no one can give you that.
No, absolutely not.
It's something that you really have to establish within yourself. And don't get me wrong, parents can help with that, giving a child confidence. And you also don't want to give a child false confidence. I had to deal with individuals that actually sometimes their confidence are overly confident. They overly try to compensate for the things that they feel like they lack internally. But confidence itself is something that is built from within. Mm-hmm. And so, yes, it does have to be practiced, because you almost have to say, I believe I can achieve what it is I desire to achieve even before I get there. Mm-hmm. So you don't go to college looking for a degree and expecting it to show up tomorrow. You know that there's a process in getting there, but you stay consistent in going to school, going to classes, staying enrolled, that kind of thing, so that you can get to your objective. Confidence is the same thing, is to be aware of what it is you're trying to seek out, be aware of what you want to feel, be aware of what you want to be good at, be aware of what you want to be proficient at, and operate as if you are going to do that thing. It's not, if you're always feeling like, oh, well, I can't. Well, you're right. If you say you can or you can't, you're going to be right either way.
Nope.
It just depends on what you say.
So speak more positively about yourself. I know I go hard on Instagram Live and Instagram Stories. So follow me at Brandon Bestie. I'm on every single day.
Every day.
And
live.
Part of me being consistent was I had to stop reinventing the wheel.
Yes.
I had to stay in my lane, stop trying to be like everybody else, and I had to figure out what I really wanted. I wanted to build genuine connections with people online. I wanted to be transparent. I wanted my stories to help them save their lives or save their businesses or save their relationships, whatever it was that they were going through. I wanted to know that my testimony wasn't being taken for granted.
Absolutely.
That I was speaking out on all of the things. I talk about the fact that I battled depression. I talk about the fact that I've been emotionally abused by a parent. I've talked about how I have been on government assistance. I talk about how I know what it's like to be in a terrible, manipulative relationship with a man. I know all of these things.
Yes.
And if I hold them into myself, I had to learn. My lane was sharing my testimony.
Yes.
And then what I had to do was find my zone of genius. Was how am I gonna make some money off of this?
Right.
Run me my money, okay?
Right. Absolutely. Yes. So, I mean, we only got a few minutes here. I appreciate everybody who was listening and checking us out today.
Thank you.
And tell them where they can get the Level Up Journal. I mean,
you can get the Level Up Journal at BrandonBestie.com. So if you go to BrandonBestie.com, you go to my shop. You can get it right there. It's also available on Amazon. So if you type in Level Up 60-Day Manifestation Journal, you can get your copy in here. Also, this weekend on March 3rd, so this coming Saturday, I'm doing a pop-up shop at the Victory by Choice offices in Mayfield Heights, Ohio. So check out my Instagram to see the flyer for that, or my Facebook, BFels. And it's going to be a good time. It's going to be from 1 to 4 on March 3rd. We're going to have wine. We're going to have cupcakes and dessert. We're going to have a little bit of trap music, because that's my thing. Great conversation. And I'm going to be co-hosting with my girl, who's also one of the Queen's Journey hosts, Denise Sumbry, who's the owner of the Positive Life Haven, who focuses on holistic healing and products to help you maximize your spiritual journey. So that's what this journal.
Got a pocket full of stones.
Yes, and anybody who pre-ordered the journal, they got their own stones. So I'm really excited for the people who were able to get those. But if you want to get your copy of the journal, if you want to get your copy of the journal signed, if you want to look into learn more about spiritual healing, both both Denise and Shadae will be there to give you some more insight on that. And it's going to be a really good time. And it's open to the public. It's not you don't have to pay a fee, but journals and crystals and sage and all that types of stuff will be on sale. And it's literally
all
just
good
going to
vibes
be
welcome.
It's just going to be like a kickback. It's nothing formal. It's literally just going to be us having great conversation and just enjoying each other's company. So March 3rd from 1 to 4 p.m. at the VBC office in Mayfield Heights is going to be great.
Yes, that's 6181 Mayfield in Suite 103.
Yes.
And the zip code's 44124.
Yes.
You guys have been tuning into the Queen's Journey with me and the branding bestie.
Hey! Thanks for having me.
And you guys have been schooled on confidence and consistency. If you guys want to reach me, you guys know I'm on Facebook at Shadae Carlisa Bumpers. I'm also on IG at Shadae_speaks. Hit me out. Get that good old birth chart assessment. You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to get that natal chart going so y'all know who y'all are, so you could be a little bit more confident about who you're supposed to be. Okay? So we are getting out of here. You guys have a wonderful night. This is the Queen's Journey, and we're off.
Bye.